Hey guys, Luke here and welcome back to Season 4, Episode 6 of the James Hart Be A Pro Rugby League Live 3 Career Mode. Now right here is going to be the start to the NRL season. I believe it's Season 4, so 2015, 2016, 2017. This is 2018 here. So we're taking on the Titans for Round 1, and in Round 2 we'll be taking on the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. So a pretty tough start to the season. You might be thinking Titans tough, don't think so, but they actually do have a decent side. The halves right there don't look too good, and you got to have to pay attention to some of the team lineups going into these games, because Season 4 a lot of the sides are different. You see Kane Elgin on the bench there. They have Robert Louis starting. I don't know what's going on there. Why would you have Robert Louis starting over Kane Elgin? That's absolutely ridiculous. And another player that you might have seen is Aiden Tolman actually at the Titans. So disappointing to see Aiden Tolman leave. It's something that I didn't pick up on at all, to be honest, until just right now of watching this gameplay back. But it's a little bit annoying to see Aiden Tolman leave. He's been an integral part of the squad, and I know James Hart gets along with him very, very well there. But that is absolutely brilliant play there, calling for the ball, as we didn't pick the ball up initially from the kick return, but we did end up throwing the ball straight out to Brett Morris, who made a few more meters there. And I think that's something that we need to be doing. Obviously, it's something I talk about a lot, is actually ball playing, and just trying to get James Hart ability up in terms of ball playing. But you need to have the side to do it, and we don't really have too many people who can go on with it. But Brett Morris, Josh Morris, they're definitely some players that we can get more involved, I think. And you see right there, that's actually a pretty good run there, and we actually win a penalty, which doesn't happen too often. So the fact that it has happened is I had to throw it in there. So that was the reason for showing that clip, and that was some brilliant little work there. Fifth tackle it was. We ran out to the wing, realised that we're not going to be able to score, so we put in a nice little grubber, and it worked out absolutely brilliantly for us. Now, a lot of balls just being thrown around willy-nilly here, but it does find James Hart there, and he is going to eventually score there, and it was the fourth tackle. So it was pretty lucky that we did end up scoring that try, just because of how kind of stupid that play looked. Let's be honest, there were so many passes left, right, heading from one side of the field to the other, inside balls, everything, and James Hart just pinned the ears back and said, "Stuff this, I'm going for the try line," and he ended up getting there. So that was really good. Now, the last clip that you saw before this one, before him scoring a try, was trying to force an offload away, and we just got to cut that shit out of our game. We didn't do it for a long time. Last season, maybe even the season before, can't really remember too much, but we started to cut that shit out of our game, and it worked very, very well. Bulldogs went on a bit of a run there, forced their way into the finals for the first time in James Hart's career. So we did cut it out, and it's sort of just coming back in. And I don't know if that's because I myself, like as in Luke, hadn't played the game for a while, we're just trying to do it, or I don't know. I can't really remember my mindset in playing it, because I did record this a long time ago, so apologies for that. But 12-0 up, we're not doing too bad. I'd say we're going very, very well. And you see Titans here, I think there was Shrama ends up with the ball there. They were trying to sort of throw it around a little bit themselves, realising that they're down by 12 points, and there wasn't much time on the clock before halftime, so they may as well have went for it, and that's what they tried to do. It didn't really work out too well. Now, coming into the second half, see James Hart once again trying to put his body on the line there, trying to pump up the lads for the second half, and he gets absolutely smashed. How he doesn't have to come up with concussions all these times, I don't know. It's probably some really slack work from the officials, maybe from the Bulldogs team doctors or something, but I'm sure the Bulldogs would have seen a fair few fines throughout this career mode. But I think it's Josh Reynolds on the ball here, and we're looking to just call the ball here. That's a perfect call from us, and that's backing up in the middle like a fullback should. Now, Josh Reynolds maybe could have got to the line himself, but I'm pretty certain on this game he would have just kept running in a straight line rather than go the diagonal route, go for the corner, because that's what he would have needed to have done. But because he was going to get caught. He was going to get caught for sure. Play would have caught him, and yeah, I think it was a good call from us. You might see it as a little bit of one of those, like, I'm not a fan of people who just go for, like, there's no need for them to call for the ball. They're just trying to steal a try, but I don't think that was one of them. Anyways, 18-0 up. It's been a great performance from James Hart individually, and it's Adam Clydesdale there. He plays at the Knights, I think, currently, or maybe at the Raiders. I don't know where he is exactly now, but pretty sure he used to be at the Knights at least, and yeah, he's come across. We've had a fair few hookers. Damien Cook played in the trials. We've had Leacher, who I think's left for the Tigers, I think it was. There's been a lot of hookers come through the ranks here, or just, come and play for us at the Bulldogs since James Hart's been in the first grade. But Clydesdale and Damien Cook seem to be the ones that are going to happen this season, as well as Josh Reynolds off the bench possibly. There's so many different combinations they're trying. Be interesting to see who they do settle on. But Josh Reynolds has played the last few games at 5'8", after Daniel Mortimer started at 5'8". So I'm not really sure what's our best lineup, but 24-0, with plenty of time left on the clock, says that this might be our best lineup going into into round 2 against Manly Seagulls, because we've got this game wrapped up. There's no doubt about it. It's just a matter of running down the clock, really. We tried to go for a field goal, just try and... It was a little bit of a, not a smart ass sort of play, but just trying to 100% the game's over. It's done. And you see Josh Reynolds here comes up with a brilliant kick there. That's a 40-20, a left-footed 40-20 as well. It was really, really nice. And James Hart goes so close to scoring again there. And there was maybe a hint of a penalty holding down too long there, but it is going to be Clydesdale. Actually, it's Daniel Mortimer off the bench there. I thought it was Clydesdale, but Daniel Mortimer out of dummy half. He pretty much didn't really have a choice. He just picked up the ball and got tackled straight away. So a bit stupid there from the Titans, but he ends up scoring a try, and it is 30-0. Now, last episode against the Dragons, we were down 30-0 ourselves there. So this is quite a turnaround. I know it was only a trial game, but we were feeling a little bit depleted in terms of confidence and that sort of stuff. So it probably was a good thing we've come up against a Titans side, which in hindsight looks like a pretty weak sort of side there. And, we've really put the sword to them completely now. They are going to score a bit of a consolation try. It is going to be Kevin Gordon there. And that was pretty bad miss by James Hart. We don't miss too often those sort of situations anymore. It's more of the one where they just step around us. But Kevin Gordon ends up scoring. Greg Bird kicks the goal. Second row. I know Greg Bird kicks in real life sometimes, but that was really, really nice kick from him. And 30-6 is the scoreline. We're looking to just come up with the final tackle of the game here. Just about running down the clock. We're holding on to the player for a little while. Didn't want to give away a penalty because we don't want to extend the game any longer than what we have to. But there is the final tackle of the game there. And that's a 30-6 victory for the Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs. James Hart, I would assume, would be man of the match. It was a really, really good performance from him, turning it around from his last performance against the Dragons. Obviously, in the Nines, absolutely killed it, but the Nines is a whole different ballgame, as we've been able to see in the trial games that we've played. And right here, you see 36 into 37. We're so close to getting to level 37, getting an upgrade. Now, we did the next little drill, which did progress us up to level 37, and we are moving from 86 to 87 rated. So we're joining those elite sort of players now. Before, actually, like, playing wise, you can see we're scoring tries. That's why everything says that we're an elite player already. But just overall wise, we're still just a really good player. And this is particularly important for Origin and that sort of stuff, because I believe the Origin sides are picked on overalls, not really stats or form or anything. So that's a little bit annoying. Wish they didn't do that, but we don't really have a choice. We need to get James Hart into the New South Wales squad. He needs to be the saviour. He's the saviour that New South Wales have been crying out for. Is he the one they deserve? I'm not really sure, but looking to go into this Manly game. Manly actually look like they've got a pretty shit side, to be honest with you. The centres in particular look pretty awful. But I got to say, like Hernan Essie is playing prop for us. He doesn't play too often in the prop position. Now, we've actually lost a lot of props. We went from having a billion props in real life to start off. This career mode, you got the Casianos, Graham Tolman, Tim Brown, Lloyd Perry, everyone. And now we're left with like Hernan Essie playing in the prop position. As we saw earlier, Tolman leaving. I don't know where Casiano is, maybe on the bench. But I know David Clemmer left, I think, to the Cowboys it was. Just a lot of players leaving, which is disappointing. But we did have an early chance there. We couldn't convert, and straight from dummy half we throw an intercept, which was really, really annoying. So far it's actually been a pretty average sort of game for the Bulldogs, for Manly, just in general. But it is going to be Matt Ballon, I believe, breaks through a few tackles there. We did make the mistake going for a legs tackle. We really should go for the high tackle, the arm pin tackle, as much as possible, just to stop those offloads. The only problem is it's a double-edged sword. You go for the top arm pin tackle and they just palm you off. You go for the short one around the legs, or the A tackle, which is also around the legs, around the midsection or whatever, and they just offload it. So I'm not really sure what's the best option, but you can see right here all the players completely overrun. So I felt the need that James Hart needed to grab that ball and just take a hit up. Unfortunately though, Clydesdale, or whoever's that hooker for this game, decided to take a little bit of a dart out of dummy half first hand before passing it, and the upright's obviously in the way. So I think it was James Maloney, I don't know who it was, but whoever it was, they just dived on the ball there, scored an easy try, probably the easiest try they'll ever score in their entire career, maybe also the funniest try they'll ever score in their career. But 12-0 down, it's not looking too good for us. It's a little bit of a disappointment, just due to the fact that last game we played so well, but we are looking to sort of turn on. It's only 12 points. It's not insurmountable. We can come back from it for sure, and looking to do so right here. That's a great pass out to the wing there. I'm assuming it was Brett Morris out there. And you see right here, just grabbing the ball on fifth tackle. Now that's something we want to do a little bit more as well. Obviously we've got some pretty good halves. We've got Reynolds, we've got Hogginson, even the backups, Mortimers and that sort of stuff. They're pretty decent on this game. But we want to do a bit of ball playing ourselves, bit of playmaking, kicking, everything. Because I've realised that our stats are actually really good in kicking. So why not take advantage of that? I'd never really kicked too often, or never wanted to kick too often, because I thought my stats were really, really bad, but they weren't. And right there, we're on the receiving end of a high tackle. Now, I was talking about concussions earlier. Now, that would be a sure thing, being a concussion. Surely he would have had a concussion just then. Absolutely, poleaxed in the head there, absolutely smashed. Nearly knocked him out. I think he nearly killed him, to be honest. I probably shouldn't actually say that, considering it actually has happened in real life. So apologies if that offended anybody. But yeah, we do end up scoring a try there. 12-4, turns to 12-6. Trent Hogginson kicks a goal there, and we are right back in the game. And you see right here, I think it was from, I don't know if it was from dummy half, but we pretty much were just trying to go for a quick try before full time. I don't even remember how we got the ball. Maybe we stripped it or something, or there was an intercept, but yeah, we sort of just went for it. We did force an offload. We didn't need to do it. Should have just taken the tackle and, live to fight another day, really, and, try to, mount another bit of a bit of pressure there just for half time. How much time we had, I think there was like a minute left, so maybe we could have got 1 or 2 tackles in. And you see right from half time, it's been a great start for Manly. Matt Ballin scores again, so I don't know who scored that second try for them, where it came off the upright. Maybe it was Maloney or someone, I don't know, but Matt Ballin scored the second try of the game. It was from dummy half, very, very simple stuff there. But it is James Hart taking around all the Manly players, and he actually got around the fullback as well. But what we just didn't realise it at the time. We decided to try and draw and pass, which we didn't need to do. But right there, fifth tackle, we decided to run it, and the fifth tackle is a great time to run it, just because the wingers have dropped back and they've sort of spread out a little bit more, so you got way more time to take advantage of the space there. And if you do what James Hart does a lot and just beat them with pace, which is pretty much what we do, pace and agility, you'll realise that it's a perfect time for that. So yeah, we're right back in the game, 18-12, and there's another kick from us. I don't know what the other defender was doing initially, just ran past him, but James Hart comes up with a beautiful tackle there, drives him back into the in goal, and James Hart ends up scoring his second try of the game there. That is great stuff, and we are right back in the game. Well, I keep saying we're right back in the game. We are in the game. It's a tie ball game if he kicks the goal here, which he does. Trent Hogginson doesn't miss too often, and it is 18-all. It's been a great comeback from us. It's been a really, really good comeback, just considering where we were, 12-0 down at half-time, I think it was. Actually, just before half-time. I think we did score before half-time, but we're looking to go on with the game. We just want to play pretty simple. We don't want to try and do too many stupid things, because, Manly could kick a field goal and be all over pretty soon. So just got to make sure we play percentage football, and you can see we're not really doing so right now. James Hart does end up with the ball. Now, we did call for it way earlier, and that did start the whole thing of the Bulldogs just throwing it around willy-nilly, which is not what we wanted. But as you can see there, the ball did get stripped from us, but we did survive, thankfully. I think it was Brett Morris came up with a great take, and we're going to win a penalty right here. And 79th minute, we're just trying to dictate the ball, move it around. Dictate the tempo, I should say. And at the moment, we're just going for a try right there. Try didn't happen. So right now, field goal. We're getting in position. We're way too deep, I believe. Well, I don't think I'm way too deep, but in terms of the game, I realise probably too deep. So we did move up forward a little bit further, and James Hart slotted the field goal, and he ended up winning the game for them. It pretty much was after the siren had gone too, so that was an absolutely incredible finish to the game. Now, I didn't really show it too much in my commentary, but at the time I was absolutely buzzing after kicking that goal. Even though it's only a game, when you win a game like that, it is very, very nice. And that's a really good episode for us. Caps off a great episode. 2 from 2 to start off the season. That's exactly what we want, especially after the last few seasons. We've started off so terribly, and I mean, last season we had to come through with a huge win streak in the back end of the season to get into the final. So, we really want to, have a really good season this year, try and push for the title, really, and that all starts early on. You lay the foundations in the first few rounds, I believe. Anyways, that's where the video is going to end. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter at Mr. Luke MRT, Facebook page in the description below, and I'll see you for my next video. Bye, guys.